Hello everyone, I am Amrita Shinde and I welcome you all to e-classroom for the audio course of Biochemistry and Clinical Pathology for chapter Minerals. In this session, we are going to learn various aspects of minerals and its properties. Let's see. What is a mineral? A mineral satisfies all four of the following criteria. It is a naturally occurring substance. Second, it is an inorganic substance. Third, it has an orderly internal structure. Fourth, it has a fixed or uniformly variable chemical composition. That they are naturally occurring and inorganic separates minerals from most manufactured substances as well as materials formed only in biological processes. Their internal structure and chemical composition gives minerals characteristic physical and chemical properties that provide clues to the identity of the minerals. Inorganic elements needed by the body for following function. First, it builds tissues, it regulates body fluids, it assists in body functions, it helps to form body structure, and after burning, it will remain as ash. Now let's see the classification of minerals. There are two classes, major minerals and trace minerals. First, we'll see the major minerals. It is required in amounts greater than 100 milligram per a day, sometimes called macro minerals. And another one is trace minerals. It is required in the diet in amounts lesser than 100 milligram a day, sometimes called as microminerals. Let's see what are those. The classification of minerals according to their essentiality. Okay, now let's see what are those major elements. Major element include first calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, chloride and sulfur. And minor element include iron, iodine, copper, manganese, zinc, molybdenum, selenium and fluoride. Let's see. What are ions? Electrically charged atoms resulting from chemical reaction. There are two types of ions. First, anions that are negatively charged and cations are positively charged. Next, mineral salts dissolve in water that breaks up into separate ions called as electrolytes. What are minerals exactly? Inorganic elements essential to the nutrition of humans. Minerals are essential to body function for playing a several key role in overall health and well-being. First of all, it will help us for chemical reactions takes place in the cell. It will help us for muscles contraction. It will help or keep the heart continuously beating. There are two groups as seen earlier, major and trace elements. Mineral balance. Now let's see the mineral balance. Body maintains tight control over mineral balance. We'll see two organs. Okay. First is GI tract, that is gastrointestinal tract. Regulates absorption from food based on the body's need. Secondly, minerals in gastric juices and that slough off intestinal cells are either excreted in the feces or reabsorbed through the large intestine. Second organ, kidneys, excretes excess and reabsorbs the minerals when the body need them. Now, let's see the mineral functions. Minerals work together to perform important functions in the body. First of all, it will help for fluid and electrolyte balance of body. Secondly, blood formation reactions. Third, building healthy bones. And last one, maintaining a healthy immune system. Very important for maintaining a healthy immune system. Mineral help maintain to maintain the fluid balance. Minerals play a key role in fluid balance in the cells. Extracellular minerals. The examples are sodium and chloride, and intracellular minerals. Example, potassium with the help of calcium, magnesium and sulfur. minerals participate as cofactor. Let's see. Cofactor is substance that helps to catalyze a reaction. Mineral serves as a cofactor in antioxidant system, energy production, muscle contraction, and nerve transmission. Minerals make up bones and teeth. Let's see how. Minerals make up the crystalline structure, hydroxyapatite, that gives strength to the bones and teeth. Major minerals are calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium, and trace element which is involved for making up bones and teeth is fluoride. Let's see the food sources from which we can obtain the calcium. First source is milk. Second, cheese. We all love to eat the cheese, right? And third one is seafood. Let's see the major minerals. First is calcium, and the food sources for calcium is first milk, another one cheese, sardines, salmon, some dark green leafy vegetables. Let's see the function of calcium. First of all, it is helpful for development of bones and teeth. Secondly, transmission of nerve impulses. Third, for blood clotting system. Fourth, normal heart action. And fifth, normal muscle activity. Let's see the deficiency or toxicity of calcium. Okay. First clinical manifestation is osteoporosis. Okay. Now let's see what is meant by osteoporosis. The osteoporosis is a situation in which bone weakening increases the risk of broken bone or weak bones. Okay. Osteomalacia. Thirdly, rickets, tetany, retarded growth, and lastly, poor tooth and bone formation. Osteoporosis means porous bones characterized by low bone density or mass, reduced amount of bone tissue, and fragile bones. Here in figure they have shown how the normal bone structure and in osteoporotic bone structure. Rickets, softening of bones in children, potentially leading to fractures and deformity. And osteomalacia, bones lose calcium and becomes softer and may deform. These both conditions are shown in figures. Tetany, involuntary contraction of muscle. It is completely involuntary. Next mineral, phosphorus, abbreviated as P. Now let's see the food sources from which we can obtain phosphorus. The food sources are milk, cheese, lean meat, poultry, fish, whole grain cereals, legumes, and nuts. Let's see functions. Development of bones and teeth. Another one, maintain the normal pH of the blood. Third one, constituent of all the body cells, and also include a CHO, CHON, and fat metabolism. Let's see deficiency or toxicity conditions of phosphorus. Okay, first, poor tooth and bone formation. Secondly, weakness. Third, anorexia. Next, general malaise. Next element is or next mineral is potassium, abbreviated as K plus. Let's see the food sources from which we obtain the potassium. The food sources are oranges, bananas, dry fruits, vegetables, legumes, milk, cereals, meat. Let's see the functions. First of all, it will help for contraction of muscles, human muscles. Secondly, maintenance of fluid balance. Third, transmission of nerve impulses. Fourth, regular heart rhythm. And last one, it will help for cell metabolism. Let's see deficiency or toxicity. First of all, we'll see the deficiency of potassium. First deficiency is hypokalemia, muscle weakness, confusion state, and abnormal heartbeat. Let's see toxicity of potassium. First, hyperkalemia. Okay, The term indicates hyper means more than normal range. Potentially life-threatening irregular heartbeats more than 120 or 70 mm of Hg. Next, sodium. Next element is sodium. Now let's see the food sources from which we will get the sodium. First, table salt, beef, eggs, poultry, milk, cheese, soy sauce, moderate amounts in breads and vegetables also, and lastly, large amounts in processed foods. Okay, let's see the functions of sodium: maintenance of fluid balance, second, transmission of nerve impulses, third one, acid base balance, last one, muscle contraction. Very important, it is helpful in muscle contraction. Let's see the deficiency or toxicity. Deficiency include nausea, exhaustion, muscle cramps, and toxicity include hypertension and edema. The picture shows edematous state. Edema means what? There is accumulation of fluid. Okay, so there will be a swelling. Next is chloride. The food sources from we got chloride are table salt, eggs, seafood, and milk. Let's see the functions. Gastric acidity, useful for gastric acidity. Also regulates acid-base balance in the body. Also maintains fluid and electrolyte balance, and also useful for formation of hydrochloric acid in the body. Let's see the deficiency or toxicity. Imbalance in gastric acidity. Next, imbalance in blood pH, or there may be a variable pH, nausea and exhaustion. Let's see another one mineral, magnesium, abbreviated as Mg2+. Food sources from which we'll get magnesium are green leafy vegetables, whole grains, avocados, nuts, milk, legumes, bananas, nuts, seafood, chocolate, and cocoa. Functions of magnesium: it will help for nerve transmission, very important. Another one is for synthesis of ATP. Next is activation of metabolic enzymes. Next, muscle activity, and last one, constituent of bones, muscles, and red blood cells. Let's see the deficiency or toxicity. Actually, the deficiency or toxic situations arises due to magnesium are really very unknown, but some of them are mental, emotional, and muscle disorders. So we have finished first part. Let's see the next trace elements. First, we'll see iron, very important, abbreviated as Fe plus, ferrous. Okay, now let's see the food sources from which we'll get from which we'll get the iron are muscle, meat, poultry, shellfish, liver, legumes, dried fruits, whole grain or enriched breads and cereals, dark green and leafy vegetables, molasses. Okay, let's see the functions of iron. Very well known function of iron is transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. Secondly, hemoglobin formation. Third, component of cellular enzymes essential for energy production. Let's see the deficiency or toxicity. Deficiency is iron deficiency arises into or lead to anemia. Anemia means there is hemoglobin deficiency, RBC deficiency. Normal amount of red blood cell and anemic amount of red blood cells are shown in next figure. Symptoms: weakness or fatigue, dizziness, loss of weight, pallor. Pallor means what? An unhealthy pale appearance of skin. Okay. Next, coldness of hands and feet. Next trace element is iodine and abbreviated as I minus. Okay, the food sources from which will get the iodine are iodized salt and seafood. Functions. Functions, it regulate basal metabolic rate. Okay, and deficiency or toxicity. First, goiter. Okay, what is meant by goiter? It is an abnormal enlargement of thyroid gland. Next is cretinism. Cretinism means a condition characterized by physical deformity and learning difficulties that is caused by congenital thyroid deficiency. Okay, it is also related with deficiency of thyroid hormone. Okay, and last one is myxedema. Okay, another term for hypothyroidism, hypothyroidism. Okay, the myxedema is the another term for hypothyroidism. Hypo means below than normal range. Okay, here the thyroid gland secrete less thyroid hormone. Okay, this is the condition that occurs when your body doesn't produce enough thyroid hormone. Okay, the pictorial shows the various conditions. First, cretinism, myxedema, and goiter. Next trace element is zinc, abbreviated as Zn plus. Okay, let's see food sources from which we'll get the zinc are seafood, especially oysters, liver, eggs, milk, wheat bran, and legumes. Functions. First, formation of collagen fiber. Another one is wound healing. Third one, taste acuity. Fourth one, essential for growth. And last and very important is it is helpful for immune reactions. Okay, let's see the deficiency or toxicities. Dwarfism. Let's see what is meant by dwarfism. Next slide will in next slide I will show the picture of dwarfism. Okay, it is a short stature that results from a genetic or medical condition. Okay, shortness of height we can say. Okay, next is anemia. Next, loss of appetite, skin changes, impaired wound healing, and last, decreased taste acuity. This is the figure of dwarfism. The patients suffering from dwarfism are having a height less than 4 feet. This is completely genetic or medical condition. These are the pictures of skin lesions arises due to deficiency of zinc. Next trace element, fluoride, abbreviated as F minus. The food sources from which will get the fluoride are fluoridated water and seafood. Functions, increases resistance to decay, and second, component of bones and teeth. Next, we'll see deficiency or toxicity disorders. Deficiency to decay or possibly osteoporosis. What is meant by osteoporosis? In which osteoporosis is a condition in which bone weakening increases the risk of broken bone, or we can call it as weak bones. Okay. Next, uh, next is toxicity, fluorosis, that is discoloration of teeth, or mottling. Mottling means color changing. These are the pictorials showing fluorosis. Thank you.